much as I love the Groovebox format and workflow for getting musical ideas down, when it comes to doing arrangements, things get a bit tricky. I mean, devices like Ableton Push 3 and Ableton Move don't even have arrangement capabilities, but even if they did, they kind of encourage this loop-based approach that's a bit rigid, and many people struggle to turn their 4-bar loops into full arrangements. Even using Ableton Live's session view, which isn't a Groovebox but has that type of workflow to start your project, can easily get you stuck in a loop, and if you force yourself to do the tried and true method of copying and pasting your loop and removing some parts, it can often come out forced, stiff, and boring. And it may be even harder when you're using a sampled phrase as your main theme, because you're less flexible with the changes that you can make than if everything was composed from scratch. So let's see why this happens and what are some things that you can try to overcome it. And there is one thing that really helps a lot, and we'll see what that is as I show you the process of making this sample-based hip-hop beat. Okay, so first some general pointers. When you have a loop going, try to be realistic about your musical idea's weight. What I mean is, can this idea and all the parts you have that support and enhance it sustain a long arrangement that's interesting and isn't boring? And this is subjective, and it's up to you to judge that. And as you gain more experience, you won't even be judging it consciously. You'll develop a sort of a intuition for it. But I've heard so many tracks by beginners and even intermediate producers that are just way too long for what they have to say with their musical content. They take way too long to get to the point with long intros that would make most listeners skip the track entirely. But even if they don't skip it, the arrangement is too repetitive and boring to keep the listener's interest. So honestly, for me, for the instrumental hip-hop music that I make, a lot of times the final result ends up like 2 minutes or like something between 2 minutes, 2 minutes and a half. I honestly don't really care how long it is. If I have a lot to say with a certain idea and the song literally arranges itself, then cool, I can make it longer. But if not, I'd rather get the track finished as fast as possible so I can share the idea. So we'll get into the musical example in a moment, but if you want to check out more beat arrangements that I've done, I have links to my music on the major streaming platforms in the video description down below, just so you can listen to my releases and see that I'm not the latest YouTuber trying to give you advice while his beats are actually kind of mid. So I sampled this Roberta Flack song, Feel Like Making Love. It's a pretty famous song, so I obviously can't play the entire thing due to copyright reasons, but you can easily find it if you want to hear it properly. I chopped the phrase into quarter notes and pitched it up 2 semitones. And something that's obviously very important is being aware what key you're working in, because it allows you to add more melodic parts to the composition, and these parts help sustain a more interesting arrangement than if it was just a sample and some drums. In this case, I found the song through Samplet, and it has the key listed in the description, so I didn't even have to try and figure it out. And the song is originally in C minor, and after pitching it up 2 semitones, we were in D minor. So this makes it easy for me to figure out which notes would work for creating these additional melodic parts, and even what additional chords I can layer to add more depth to the sampled phrase. So after I recorded the sample chops, I added the bass line. Some Rhodes. This flute thing. And a bell melody. And the bell and the flute have this question and answer relationship. And again, we need this ear candy to make the arrangement more interesting. Here's the big thing that I mentioned in the intro: try to make a B section by using a different part of the sample. If you do it well, this can make it much easier to make an arrangement because you're not just repeating the same main theme over and over again. When it gets boring, you just switch to the B section. So let's see how I made the B section and then how it works in the arrangement. So the B section needs to have a different feel than the main one. Here it is a bit more, I don't know, I would say floaty. I don't know if it's the correct word, but it creates a nice contrast when you switch to it. Just in case, even before I start arranging the track, I try switching between the A and B sections by triggering the different scenes on push, just to see if they work well one after the other. And in this case, I would say they do, but we would need to create some transitions to make the change-up more impactful and satisfying. Okay, so we're in Ableton Live now. This is the finished track. I've also mixed it, changed the drums a bit, but let's focus on the arrangement. So the intro is very short, just 4 bars, playing just the sample chops with a high-pass filter and a reverb. You just heard it, which makes it sound like the sample is playing far away in the background. So when the full beat drops and I remove the reverb and the filter, it creates a nice contrast, as if everything gets closer and kind of hits you in your face. Now, another very important tip for the arrangement is to try and introduce some changes every 4 bars or so. And as you can see here, I'm adding new elements every 4 bars. And it doesn't even need to be a musical element. For example, towards the end of this 16-bar section, I add a low-pass filter with an LFO on the sample. And so all these changes make the arrangement more engaging for the listener. Let's hear it. Okay, so this section is more or less 16 bars long, and at that point I feel like it's time to do the switch up. So before I drop the B section, I strip down some of the elements, as you can see here in the last 4 bars, including the drums, the bass, and this sets up for a more satisfying and impactful transition to the B section. Also, another thing I like to do is just chop up some snippets from the melodic parts, fade them in and reverse them, and do these lead-in parts for the transitions. Or like this one that we will hear in the moment on the next transitions, doing this tape stop effect. So this works very well to emphasize the transition. So after 16 bars, we're back again to the A section, which is now familiar, but still kind of fresh because we've taken a break from it. And yeah, I know this is very simple and obvious, but hey, it works. But of course, this is just one way to do it. I also have plenty of tracks where I don't have B sections. Every project is different, so this is just one example. But again, check out my music from the link in the video description down below for more examples of tracks that I've finished and released. My sound packs are also in the description if you haven't checked them out yet, and I also have a new one coming out soon. I'll keep you posted, of course, when it drops. Also, hit the like button if the video was useful, subscribe if you're new here, and here's another video that you can watch now. I will catch you in the next one.